presented before the Rivers State House of Assembly. And as we speak now, that exercise has been punctuated. Now, one of the reasons why the Supreme Court said the allocations due Rivers State should stop is because the budget to them of Rivers State is not properly administered. Not until a proper appropriation bill had been sent and approved by the State House of Assembly. Now, in this circumstance, the President has also given directive. It is a directive in his proclamation, in his words, that the funds due Rivers State, the monies that the allocations that they've withheld, that is due Rivers State, based on the reason that the allocations are not properly appropriated for by the Supreme Court judgment, to be released to a sole administrator. How or what sense does it make? Is that in itself not a contradiction to the rulings or the judgment of the Supreme Court, or to the rule of law, or to the decision of the court?
Well, we maybe,
So I think,
did the court say to the governor or
Yes.
to the River State government,
yes, the court, the Supreme Court, as part of its
don't release the
judgment,
money to the governor, Similala Fubara,
to
or
Rivers State, to Rivers State? The instruction is allocations due Rivers State should not be released to Rivers State. And the governor is the chief financier. He holds the funds of Rivers State in trust for the people.
So since the governor has been suspended,
And
does the Supreme Court, does that judgment now allow the money to be released to another person?
as far as I'm concerned, the reason is the appropriation, the Rivers State House of Assembly, the budget, in fact, as it is, has not been passed or appropriated for. So any money you release, is it not for the budgetary provision? It will be spent on based on budgetary provisions now, based on appropriation, based on the budget that will be passed. That is the allocation that comes. It is on that premise they spent it now.
But let me just
So
add this.
now the court is saying that because you have not carried out this exercise to present the budget of the state, Rivers State government, to the State House of Assembly to pass, all funds, those are one of the reasons why these parties went to court. It's one of their prayers. Don't release allocations meant for Rivers State to Rivers State government, because the House of Assembly has not sat to pass it into law. So now this man, the sole administrator that is coming there, he is not a member of the Rivers State House of Assembly. He's not the speaker. He's not the elected governor of the state. He's not the elected deputy governor of the state. So why should Mr. President, in his own authority, now this is in his own authority, directing that funds, the allocation that were withheld for that reasons, should be released to the sole administrator? Are we saying the coming in of the sole administrator, has it performed or affect the judgment of the Supreme Court? The answer is no. It is a contradiction. Rather, what we expected is the governor will take the appropriation bill to the National Assembly, represent it, they pass the 2025 budget, and in that budget, all the projects and programs of the government that they want to spend money for, the allocations will now be coming to them for them to carry out the spendings.
But he's on suspension.
It's
He can't
on
do that.
suspension.
So he can't do that.
So since he cannot do that, why are you now releasing these funds to this man? Will the sole administrator give account to the people of Rivers State after the 6 months he will spend there? Are we going to take accountability? Can we even ask him, how much have you spent, or how did you spend our money? He's just like a caretaker, the local government system,
He is the
where
caretaker.
governors will appoint caretaker to run a local government area, and at the end of the day, all the monies this caretaker will spend is unaccounted for. You can't go and ask him anything.
So you're suspecting something.
Yes, that they still want to manage, control the resources of Rivers State towards maybe 2027 election financing, as far as the case may be.
Well, the old papers also
Or they
report.
want to directly
Okay. Now,
be in charge
Okay.
of the funds of Rivers State.
all right. Now look at this. The papers also reported that the Prince Lateef Fagbemi, the Attorney General,
Yeah.
exonerated Chief Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, from the matter, saying that he should not be sentimentally brought into it. What's your take on that?
That is the opinion of the learned Sikh, Chief and Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, the Attorney General of the Federation. I think, with all profound respect to him, in his capacity and as a very renowned, very senior lawyer, for him to be advising Mr. President in this kind of manner he's advising him, it calls for worry. I do not see any reason, or I don't want to buy into the idea of his opinion that the FCT minister, Mr. or Chief Ezebon Nyesom Wike, should be exonerated from this matter. He is the kingpin. He is the major character in this whole problem we're having. He is, in fact, the architect of all these problems. So how can he be exonerated from it? He is only trying to give reasons or support the idea of Mr. President in that is how many minutes proclamation he did or broadcast of not even cautioning the FCT minister that is under his nose, behaving in the manner that he's behaving, to the extent of he will sit down before the camera, before media men, before journalists, and call his fellow governors who are those idiots. You can imagine that kind of a person, that kind of a man. So what Lateef Fagbemi is telling me is his own opinion. As far as I'm concerned, he will only speak in favor or support whatever act that is being carried out by his principal, the president of Nigeria today, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Whatever thing he does, he will not have the temerity, the spirit, the goodwill to tell him, no, Mr. President, in this aspect, I think we are wrong. This is the right way to go. Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, will not do that. He will rather look for reasons to support the illegality, the unconstitutional democracy we want to run today in this country, by telling Mr. President that what he has done is right. Why shouldn't Mr. FCT minister be talked to? Why should we exonerate him? Is he not part of all this problem? He is the major person in this whole problem. So, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, Lateef Fagbemi is only speaking his own. Tomorrow, when the ships are down, or when the arrow turns to not to favor them, you will see the same people begin to cry the same way. You see Rivers people crying today. Let's go to Rivers State. There's no peace everywhere.
Let's open the phone line.
It's quite unfortunate.
You can now contribute. You can now contribute and support David, or also to comment on the stories that you have heard so far. David has been analyzing the issue in River State emergency rule. So 0707 747 1522. 0912-000-1975. Send a text to 0805-3277767. Let's get a call. Good morning.
Good morning, Moyo.
Thank you so much. Your name, please?
This is Jeff calling from Okeke.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
With my comrade. Good morning, comrade.
Good morning, sir.
I wanted to join you at the Radio Fiesta, but there was no time for that. I want to say something. The problem of this country today is the youth. The youth does not know what they do and what they need. Some youth are blaming the governor of the River State by Saint Kubara. Today, many funds are being returned in the name of Abacha. Has anybody named the vice president? No. Abacha name is the one reigning. Today in Bayelsa State, whatever that happened is zero that will be held accountable. Nobody know Wiki. Nobody know whoever that supported him to become a governor. People are saying that things is not doing well, he should carry the own money to give one person that is not knowing the law. Now, I want to ask something. The president rush to proclaim a state of emergency in the state. The president are aware that the assembly deprived this governor not to present the same allocation, the budget that the Supreme Court asked the governor to represent to the assembly member. It's not the same thing that is happening in Lagos and run and bring our Obasa and bring them back to Abuja and settle them. Now, he's taking 10,000 troops. Do you know what is 10,000 troops to River State? What is Tuji Bello doing in Sokoto? Have he taken 10,000 to Sokoto to carry the burden S-men? Has he gone to Yobe? Now, somebody is saying that the progenitor of the whole matter, Wicked, are sounding like a Nokia generator. That is not neighbor to the problem in River State. What is happening in River State? Others and the youth should come together. That is the headquarters of South South. I rest my case. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. But oh my goodness, we didn't get that name clearly anyway.
Jeff.
But Jeff, okay, Jeff. Jeff, thank you so much for your input. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Good morning, sir. My name is Ken. I'm calling from Okolo. Mr. David West, good morning.
What's the name again? Sorry.
Mr. Ken, I'm calling from Okolo.
Ken. All right.
Yeah, Mr. David West, good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Mr. David West, I beg, yeah, I really want you to let you to know this. Since 1999 date, will you agree with me that federal government never treats South, South, and Southeast well when it comes to a matter like this? You remember what happened to Odi? You remember what happened to Abia State when Ruta was chief of army staff? But when matter comes to the north and west, federal government don't treat it the way they treat us. Deploying 10,000 military personnel in River State, please, is there any crisis in River State? The answer is no. It's a matter of father and a son, and you are deploying military like this. Back there in the north, how many military personnel that federal government deployed to them, where we have insurgency and so rest of them? And is this a democracy in this country? The answer is no. When matter comes to Niger Delta, federal government will carry it as if something extraordinary happens. And our people sell us to these people. What's happening to River State is uncovered. It's not democracy. I must say this. This is a matter that's supposed to solve amicably. I'm asking you, David West, is it constitutional that federal government have right to bring a military personnel, ex-military personnel to rule River State when we have former chief judge of River State, former House of Assembly, Speaker House of Assembly in River State? Why bringing this Akwa Ibom man to rule River State? Because of self-benefits. It's well, they are telling us that tomorrow we should do what they are doing. This is not a story that we tell our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khan from Opolo, for your contribution. Yes, the lines are still open, of course, so we'll keep talking about these issues. And it will not end until... I was talking to my wife the other day. I said, look, Natasha's matter has come down a little bit.
Taking the backstage
now this is the main issue.
That's Nigeria
in
for
town.
you. By the time you know it, one very funny thing will come up again and distract us for the next 2 weeks again. Then we'll forget about what is happening.
The emergency rule.
It's quite unfortunate.
Hello, someone is on the line.
Okay, all
good
right.
morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What's your name, sir?
Moye.
Yes.
My name is Lawson. Lawson.
Lucky.
Calling
Lawson.
from Yenagua.
Okay.
Yes, Lawson.
Lawson. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, from Yenagua. I greet David, my good friend.
Good morning.
Yes. A sole administrator does not need an assembly. And besides, a state of emergency enthrones martial law and in martial law, all democratic structures are suspended. So it is proper and right that the allocation is to the sole administrator, because it does not need an assembly to appropriate or to spend. Now, I don't know why everybody that look at this matter, nobody is looking at the misconduct of the Rivers State governor. It's strange, very strange. He demolished the assembly complex on his own. On his own, he decided that those 27 lawmakers are no longer lawmakers without even a court judgment. On his own, he was spending without an appropriation. Rivers State don't have an appropriation law. He didn't even care. On his own, he withheld their salaries, those 27 lawmakers. He withheld their salaries for 1 year, 6 months, still counting. And he has done all of these things and much more. Did you know that in that Supreme Court judgment, he was blamed completely for everything that happened in Rivers State? You are seeing a governor that wants to rule without an assembly. In a democracy, how do you do that? Without an assembly, there is no democracy. That's what the Supreme Court said. There was no governance in Rivers State. When people wanted to, you know, by the end of this month now, Rivers State workers, both state government, would not have received their salaries if this fight was allowed to continue. And then nobody is seeing error or any of that. They forget that the 27 lawmakers, inside those 27 lawmakers, 10 of them are Ethiopians, for those that bring ethnic coloration into a political matter. 10 of those people are Ethiopian people. And then they are being punished in the manner in which they are punished, and nobody is saying anything. I'm surprised. David West is somebody that look at this on both sides. Look at both sides of the coin. But on this matter, he's always looking at only one side. It is very strange. And I tell you, if this so-called
Okay.
emergency
Summarize.
is for the good of Rivers people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, very quickly, let me respond to Mr. Lawson. I have stated it clearly here in this same very studio and several other places that, in fact, from the very first day that demolition of the Rivers State House of Assembly was done, I kicked against it, and I've since then to today, some few days ago, I still mentioned it, that I do not see any reason why the governor should himself, because he was there, he stood there when the bulldozer was bringing down that House of Assembly, and I said that is taxpayers' money. That building is just a new building, so why should it be that when two people are quarreling, each time executive governor and assembly have problem, the next thing you see they will go and demolish? And I also made reference to what the former governor of Edo State, the immediate past governor Godwin Obaseki, did in Edo State too. When they had that issues, he went there to deroof the place to say he wants to renovate. That's the word they normally use. So I have never supported the governor in that demolition, and I also said it that the Supreme Court also punished him for that act. I did say so, and I will not support that. But that is not to say that it is not very, very obvious, clear before the public, the eyes of everybody, that what is happening in Rivers State is purely a political strangulation from one man who wants to be an emperor, who wants to control everybody under the guise of my structure, my structure, my structure. What kind of structure is that? Is it a 10-story building structure or a 9-story secretariat building structure? For God's sake, look at it this way. The sole administrator that is coming now, who is not even from Rivers State, was it the person that the Rivers people elected? Why should other states in the country are running democratic system of governance in the rest of their states, and in Rivers State will be having a military dictatorship kind of government?
Okay.
That the first thing they do when they come in, they suspend the constitution with Decree 1.
Let's hear from
The House
other
of
callers.
Assembly cease to operate.
Yes.
The executive cease to operate.
David, hold
But
on.
unfortunately
David,
for them,
hold
the
on.
judiciary they cannot play with. It's still standing.
We have somebody online.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. David Wells.
Good morning.
And
David Wells is angry.
I beg, when I give out school what I beg. This is your man from Akema, sir.
Good
All
morning,
right.
my brother.
David David West, even happened to Edo State, Obaseki Jiruko and the making of six assembly members, everyone know for.
You say your name is what? Chika?
Pere.
Pere, okay.
Pere. Obaseki in Edo State to the roof the state assembly and making just six assembly members for a second tenor last. This new one brought up the other people, nothing happened. See, let me tell you one thing, no take decision when you are angry, no take decision when you are happy. We can take decision when you are very happy to inform our Accountant General as a state. That is why this will come to play. When you find out that this man wants to become a governor, do you know that even some of people that go around and say, I'm very sorry to make you governor of a river state. So Wike and Mr. President just team up. Which day when Mr. President talk about the current Minister of the State, MPC, say this matter I need to settle with this your boy. Which day don't come out from Mr. President Mark? Now 10,000 civil defense deployed to River State. How many thousand deployed to Zamfara? No security apparatus we have in Nigeria, mostly in Nigeria police, not even up to even 400,000. So you deploy only River State 10,000 to secure only pipeline. So how many deployed to my community? One separate and not even the warriors every day. See, this politics is just meant for two people. Fobara, this is when it happened to Fobara knows this thing. No elected governor is happening in the history of Nigeria 1990 today, apart from impeachment of Alameti and all the rest.
Okay. Summarize, please.
So
Summarize.
Matter as our president is.
Look, Mr. Moyi.
Okay, we just lost that call.
the
Thank you so much,
10
Pere.
of those people there are your sons. Let me tell him. Honorable Enemy George, that is the younger brother to Alabo George Kelly, who was a former commissioner for works under Ezebo Onyeson Wike, who today he has taken to Abuja to give him a federal appointment. That's his younger brother of the same parent. He is a commissioner. He brought his younger brother. All these people, they see them because of they use them as these people powerful. Now then go fit deliver.
And then the last caller said 10. Wait, hold on. Say 10 of the people are Ijaw people.
That's what I want to tell him. Which kind of Ijaw people? These are puppets. People who the governor wrote their name to come and be assembly members. Is it the Asaito man, the man from Buguma I know, the brother to latest Obama George? How did he get in there? Was it by merit? Major Jack of Abonima Akukutoru, who is representing now, he has been in the assembly for how many tenure? Are they the only people there? But because these people are known people, they have boys, they have men they can use for political reasons, and after which they compensate them, then you tell me those are job people. A man like Chief Ferdinand Labraba, I respect so much before. A chief, what is his problem? These are people who are running after His Excellency, former Governor Ian Wike, a man like Chief Ferdinand Labraba, that will not see the truth and speak it again and speak against Kalawari Kingdom. They went to do that kangaroo reception for Wike. You saw what happened in Abalama. What are we saying? Those people, I don't even have regard and respect for them anymore because of their stomach infrastructure. These are
David, hold on.
betrayers of Ijaw Nation. People who sell Ijaw Nation for peanut.
Okay, hello.
Say they are Ijaw people. Which Ijaw people?
Yeah.
Hello. Good morning. Something Bonnie, all right?
Yeah.
I got it?
It's something Bonnie. Yeah, you got it. Something Bonnie.
Okay, good.
But I'm calling from Yanangwa.
Okay.
You see, I would like to give a little flesh concerning what is happening in River State. Sending 10,000 security personnel to River State. I don't know whether River State is at war. Yeah, maybe the president is doing what is right in his own eyes, but in the eyes of the River State and in the eyes of the Ijaw Nation, the president is doing what is wrong constitutionally. And secondly, you see, talking about swearing in sole administrator to handle the affairs of River State, I don't think the president, in good manner, the president have that right to swear in governors or sole administrator. It is the chief judge of the state that's supposed to do that. In that aspect, the president has done wrong constitutionally. The so-called Latify Bemi, don't you think that in his own goodwill and as somebody who know the law, the constitutional law in Nigeria, don't you think that he should have advised Mr. President to do things right? Fine. You want to take action concerning happening in River State. That is not wrong, but do it constitutionally according to the law. We are supposed to it in that direction. So for me, the president is biased in the old manner that is happening in River State. He should not take sides. Please, we are watching the John Nation. We are watching. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Samson Boni, for that contribution. More calls coming. I know this is going to be very heated, but David, someone said I should give you a chill bottle of water. You got to calm down a
this
little
whole
bit.
exercise is for 2027 election.
All right.
1 million,
David, someone's on the line.
million votes that will come
Someone's
from
on the
River
line.
State.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Mr. Joshua calling from Mountain of Fire area, Okaka. Good morning.
Joshua, thanks for joining us.
I'm happy it is not rejected.
Okay. I think there were other newspaper headlines, so let me suspend that one of River State first.
Okay.
Now, one of the headlines carried the story of FRSC arresting over 7,000 vehicles with fake number plates.
Exactly.
We are not looking into that matter. If it is some Asian and Middle East countries, they have these death penalties. And sometimes when we hear that people are going to be killed because of drug peddling, we start bringing in sentiments. The laws are there. Now, why should you even have a fake number plate? The question is, are there kidnappings in the country? Answer is yes. There are the abductions and a whole lot of crime. Why should you, a normal human being, have a fake number plate? So if the laws are amended, fake number plates arrested, you face death. I think the number of all these atrocities will reduce. We are not looking at it in that direction. And then Bayelsa News is not on newspapers. I'm so concerned. Yesterday, the deputy governor, the deputy governor had meetings with stakeholders over headers. And I've been saying it, before a problem comes, you try to see advance. Why not designate areas? Fence the areas. This area is for breeding of livestock. The livestock, cows, whatever, are inside that area. If you want food for them, you come outside, negotiate with people. You can negotiate and cut grass or buy whatever stuff and feed your flock there. In Ito, the way the protest went in parts of Yenagua, I'm afraid in Ito, it will not ordinarily be that kind of protest. Let us see ahead. I'm saying it now. On other radio stations, I've mentioned it. Let us see ahead and work towards this to avert whatever will happen in the future. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for your intelligent input. Now, talking about other stories as well. I know this particular story about emergency rule in River State is really topping the charts in that language. But there's another story that, David, you want to look at. Naira for crude. Naira for crude. That's from Dangote himself. He's saying that fuel price hike looms as Dangote and NPCL talks fail. Dangote Petroleum Refinery has temporarily halted the sales of petroleum products in Naira as the Naira for crude talks between the $20 billion Lekki-based plant and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited appear to have failed. The NNPCL has refused to supply Dangote crude in Naira as agreed. And so there might be hike. He said until then, maybe there'll be a little hike until when such the agreement is reinstated.
In law, all parties must abide by the terms and conditions of agreement reached. Now, these are the things we want the president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to channel his energy to. Tell me if he's even aware that this kind of matter is on ground. He's not even aware. He's just concerned about issues of River State. Are you with me? Now look at it this way. Dangote and NNPC, they have already gotten an agreement that crude oil will be sold to Dangote refinery in naira and not in dollar. How normal is it? How can any right, sensible, thinking person in this country tell me crude oil that is being produced here, that we get here, you want to sell to a refinery that is based here in Nigeria?
In dollars.
In dollars. Who is fooling who? Or who is robbing Peter to pay Paul? In dollars. They are still looking for an avenue, a way to tell us about landing costs, or still looking for an excuse to tell us, oh, the dollar has increased, so the cost of petrol too in Nigeria will increase. We say people do contracts in Nigeria. Nigerians do contracts in Nigeria and government pay them dollars way back. Years, some administrations, and we are complaining about it. Here we are, NNPC. NNPC is the problem of this country when it comes, NNPCL I mean, when it comes to this refinery not working in this country. This hardship we are facing in the cost of petroleum product. This hardship we are facing in the high cost of transportation. It is NNPC. Mele Kyari and his people, they are the people putting us into this problem.
And now, David...
And I will not also exonerate Mr. President, who is the Minister for Petroleum. They are the ones putting us into... Look at it.
David, let me give you this information now.
What?
The cost of loading petrol at private depots in Lagos jumped to 900 litre recently. It was less than 850 litre before the announcement.
Yes, when
So it was
Dangote reduce his own.
So some are arguing on social media. There was like, they are saying that maybe these people are some people are not comfortable with the way Dangote is reducing the prices.
His prices. So what will NNPC do? It's just a game plan for NNPCL, that tower of fraud, to frustrate Dangote. And how would they do that? By coming to tell him we will not give you crude oil in naira again, we will sell you in dollars, so that he will increase his price, so that NNPC will continue to increase their price. It's as if Dangote is forcing NNPC to reduce his price. We should not also forget that not too long ago, most of these petrol outlets who are carrying NNPCL logo in their private petrol stations based on this agreement are moving away from NNPCL to Dangote. They have the camp. They are changed, yes.
They have
the camp from NNPCL now to Dangote. And NNPCL is feeling...
Could that be the reason NNPCL don't want to sell
my brother,
Dangote in naira anymore?
Yes, just to frustrate Dangote. They are feeling insecure now in the business environment.
Let's take this last call before we go. We lost that. Okay, so I think no more calls. We have to round up here.
It's quite unfortunate. So, what is the president doing? The Mr. President that gave that directive that crude oil should be sold to Dangote. Okay, if Azike refinery kicks up too, it's the same thing we are going to hear.
In dollars?
In dollars. So, how is Mr. President thinking of reducing the hardship Nigerians...
Let's get this last call. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Moye.
Moye, thanks, sir. Yeah. What's your name, sir?
Good morning, Mr. David West.
Good morning.
May God bless all of you in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
What's your name, sir?
May the grace of God rest upon all of you in the studio.
Amen. Thank you.
My name is Ayo from Onopa.
Okay, Ayo.
Mr. Moye and Mr. David, I just got to greet you people. This problem of all this thing here and there, I don't have the power. We just want God to come and take control of everything.
Okay.
Happy blessed Thursday.
Okay, thank you. David, we gotta go now.
No, but it's annoying.
In conclusion,
for road safety.
In conclusion, yes.
For road safety, you know, we are using a different plate number, and that plate number was a new one before they introduced this very new plate number we are using. For one singular reason, to distinguish this plate number from the previous one, Nigerians spent money. They forced us to change to this one, and the price of this one was higher than the previous one we are using. They say this plate number of today is carrying a tracker that if your car is stolen with the plate number, you can have your car being tracked with the plate number. All the sweet stories, what is his name, Chidoka, came, introduced this plate number and told us, I have never seen any of them. Now here we are. People will carry fake plate numbers now. For some of us, when we buy a car, you buy the car like a used car. Somebody is selling his car. He's selling you the car with the plate number. And a lot of people don't know that the plate numbers they are using is not their own. It's not registered in their name. It's another person's name. My little keke I'm using It's from there I knew. The plate number that was there, in fact, it's another man that owns it who is using Mercedes-Benz in Lagos. I said, no. Quickly, I had to go back and
change it.
register the plate number, bought a new one on my name. So if you just enter road safety with my plate number, you see the owner of the car. So Nigerians should, and the cost of this thing too.
Maybe we have
It's
to
also
go.
a problem. They should reduce the cost.
No time
I
again.
cannot understand me going to obtain a driver's license for 20,000 naira. People will run away from it.
It's more than that now.
Or
It's-
today, if you
that's-
want to go and
that's
renew
something.
your vehicle particulars, you are spending as high as 50,000 naira just to renew your paper. Insurance alone is 15,000. How?
David will have to be here tomorrow
Look,
again.
the president should think of how to reduce the hardship and high tariffs for us and leave Rivers State for Rivers people to enjoy.
David, thank you so
Stay
much.
golden, please.
Thank you. Thank
God
you very
bless
much. Thank you very much. Well, that's it for newspaper headline analysis. Tomorrow we have another, of course, the last one for the week. David, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Appealing to the chief press secretary, to the governor, to be putting the news of Bayelsa State on national dailies. Let us also be having them on newspaper review.
Okay, maybe local papers. We'll have to check out local papers. as
Please.
well.
We should patronize the local papers. Let us have it